right straight to there. If I had to tie my finger straight to this, okay, what happens is that you get rubbing, okay, when the wind blows, and then it actually causes abrasions on the stem, and actually scars the stem. And where you have scarring, where you have open wounds, that's perfect conditions for hohos, fungal diseases, to come in and attack. Plus, it's a weak point on the plant. All right, when you've got a weak point, wind comes up, snap. Okay, right. So, please, guys, that's the dahlias. Dahlias, there's beautiful pinks. I picked up these this morning. Oh, look. Now, these are the little minis. They're called top mix, and you can see by the picture. So, they're shorter, more dwarf, and they almost look like a little chrysanthemum. Okay, so nice and full. Put those more towards the front of the beds. They're great in pots as well. And remember, dahlias are great for picking. Yes, for picking. Using in the vase, keeping them at home. Okay. Oh, are we having a slight technical issue? I'll be right back. Hold on. Oh my goodness, I'm using a cellular telephone today. The computer's got a malfunction. It's probably because, I don't know, maybe we had rain. All right. Oh, okay. So let's say good morning to everybody. Let's see who's here. Oh, gosh. Okay. Right. Okay. Hold on. Stand still. Okay. Now, Marie, good morning. Where are you from? Bultfontein in the Free State. Good job. Home of is it the cheetahs? Is that right, team? Yes, help me out here. Yes, home of the cheetahs. I talk to these people, my tech people over here, and sometimes they don't even answer me. You guys are like switched on. You're talking to me. All right. I've got Tanya Visser. Good morning. Nicolette. Good morning. Looking forward to your shares. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being with you. Ricky Hill, Bronwyn, Delanga, Marianne. Good morning. Emily. Which flowers do you recommend? I'll get to you. Rita, good morning. Yolanda from Joburg. Megan, look at you guys coming through. Barbara Greef from Wilges, Pretoria. Rita Mudley, good morning. Renata Visser, hello from sunny PE and no wind. Thank you for the weather update. Very important for me, as you know. Rocky Hill, dying to know how to look after potted jasmine. We'll get to you. Liz Clover, good morning. Cheryl, Janine Peck from Joburg, Wayne Caldwell, guys, Janine DeCock. You guys are coming on like far too fast. I'm kind of battling to keep up. Dorothea Felicity, good morning. Lorraine, Natasha, Maputani from Lesotho. Oh, I love Lesotho. I love it. You're going up there, and the most amazing plants on the top, the most amazing alpine plants. Hold on, don't get me started on that. Here's May, morning, struggling with moles. I'll sort that problem out. Audrey, Glenn, Heather, looking for sturdy evergreen ground covers to grow in semi-shade. I got you. Lynette, good morning. Claire, good morning. Natasha, good morning. Jill, looking to get loads of inspiration. Okay, we're going to get you. Alida, Sharon, Jackie, Kim, Linda, Renashi, Lisa, Teresa. Come on, guys. Viz Governor, good morning. Audrey, Mariki Sneyman. Guys, you all here. Mwah, mwah. Do you see how excited I get? It's kind of terrible because then I forget anything that I'm about to talk about because all I want to know is talk to you guys. Diane, oh man, this makes my heart warm. It makes my heart warm and fuzzy, really warm and fuzzy. Okay. Ruth's there. Anita. Who else? Judy. From Kirstenhof. Oh, wow. You hate garden gnomes. Come on, Judy. Come on. The sexy ones? Come on. Sexy ones. They are sexy ones. They're not any kitsch ones. Catherine, Carol, Natasha. Oh, guys. Yeah, what a blessing. Completely blessed. All right. Let's get back to these bulbs. I also want to show you these. Now. So, just quickly, single open ones, okay? The little top mix. Single open, much like a daisy. These are like a chrysanthemum. Those balls, pom-poms, okay? Proper little tight pom-poms. Also, nice and easy to grow. And look at the colors. Now, I have to admit, I haven't grown dahlias in my garden for years. I haven't. And I'm actually looking forward to it. And that's why I've been going in and checking and seeing when they're coming, because I've kept some spaces, you know, where the winter bulbs have started going over. And next to them, I've got a bit of space. Also, some things are just going over because that's how gardening happens. So I've got a few gaps, and I know that I'm going to get so much joy out of them. The other thing is, remember that you don't have to have a dedicated space for the bulb. You can plant them in between other things. Okay, and I'm way for this, because space in a garden is at a premium, guys. It's like, remember in the old Monopoly days, what was that street that you had to pay a lot of money for? Elof Street. Was it Elof Street or something? You paid a lot of money for that street. And it's much like our garden. Our garden space comes at a premium. And we've got to choose very carefully what we're going to put in it, and to make sure that we're choosing the right things to give us the right reward. Lorraine, good morning. Shakun, good morning. Karen from PE. Lynn from Tinley Manor, beautiful part of the world. Teresa from Boxburg, good morning. Alicia from Gordons Bay. Angela from Cape Town. Yvette, Chantel, Marion from Kloof. Anne Gerber from Bryanston, happy spring, and happy spring to you. Petra, Karen Donkin, good morning. Good morning, Karen Donkin. Oh, my shattered nerves. All the way from Australia. True story. Maria, Sally Goldberg. And Karen, give my little boy a big squeeze. And the big boy as well. Okay. Yeah, if you have to. Helen, good morning. Lorraine, Michael Pinar, Tilly from Joburg, Annette from Brackenfell, Joy from Port Shepstone. Guys, okay, I can't carry on there. I'm going to get lost and I'm not going to tell you anything about gardening. All right, how are we going to get the questions to me? I'm asking my team. Maybe you can write them down. Oh no, there's some questions coming up here. Something's coming up here. Do you want to take this computer away? Yeah. Right, and see if you can fix it. I'm really bad with computers. I'll break it. You know, I nearly poured water on it the other day. True story. Very expensive piece of equipment from this, and I break things. Okay, the other bulbs that you can do if dahlias are not your thing, guys, is remember gladiola. It's time for gladiola. My granny used to call them bloody old ones. True story. But they're lovely, and they're indigenous. And these are beautiful because they've got tall spikes, beautiful tall spikes. And you can also cut them, use them for cut flowers. And then, if you don't plant these, I'm going to be very upset with you, truly upset with you, because if there's one bulb that even people who say they are bad gardeners and they kill things and they maim plants and send them to heaven before their time, is an amaryllis. Come on. They are insanely amazing. This is one that we planted up last week. Now take a look here. So I want to tell you that everything is in this bulb that is ready to make it flower. If you want amaryllis flowers for your Christmas table, now listen carefully. When you buy them, and you've got to buy them now because they will sell out. True story. If you don't go in and buy your bulbs, they're gone. And because there's only a window period where they can lift the bulbs, package them, and then you need to purchase them. It's nature, all right? It's like you can't keep a cabbage for 16 weeks before you sell it or eat it. So if you get them and you want them to flower for Christmas, put them in the veggie rack of your fridge. Okay, just put them in your veggie compartment. Kind of puts them into a little sleep. Okay, 6 weeks before Christmas. Work that out. I don't know what that date is, but 6 weeks from when they start playing Boney M in the shop. Don't get me started on that. But when I walk into a shop and I hear Boney M playing, well, I want to take a 1 kg of flour and hit somebody with it. But anyway, I do actually quite like it. But you know, do you know that the shops already have got some Christmas decorations in? It's scandalous. It's absolutely scandalous. Listen, we haven't even got over COVID yet, and now Christmas is coming. CC. You know, it's COVID curve, COVID and co. You know, I can't deal with it. But anyway, let's get back to the Amaryllis. Folks, the Amaryllis, this bulb already has its flower bud in here. It is already there. It's in there. I cut one up a few weeks ago, if you were on that live. It is there. So all you've got to do is plant it in the ground or put it in some broccolini. This is what I've got here. This is broccolini. It's really light. Very, very light. They come in bags like this. And the great thing is that it's a clay. And you can actually see there little holes in it. Broccolini is lightweight. It's actually a leaker clay. So it's clay that's been, proper clay, that's been pelletized. And air has been blown into it. So it forms these little round balls with air pockets inside, which means it's great for absorbing moisture because it's clay. It's natural. Okay? And you can reuse it. That's what I love. So when this bulb has grown, flowered, look, it's already pushing up its leaves. Okay? And out of this bulb, a minimum of 2 flower stalks is going to push through. Now, this is a sonatini. Sonatinis are the smaller flowers. They're not those big guys. So just make sure you read what you're getting. This is a double. It's a double white. Spectacular. So it's got everything in there. I like planting them in the broccolini because, you know, when I'm over it then, it's not a big mess or fuss. You just empty it out, wash the broccolini pebbles, and you can use them for something else. They're also good to use as a little mulch around your indoor pot plants. So you don't have to look at the soil. Remember with your bulbs, especially your Amaryllis, when you're planting them into pots like this, or when you're using them with the broccolini, is you can see where my layer of pebbles is, okay? Do not bury them any deeper than that, because here's the neck of the bulb, okay? Here the neck where the shoots come out. Here is the shoulder, all right? And then here's the main bulb. So you never want to bury it any deeper than this part over here. No deeper than that, please, guys. If you do that, it's going to rot, okay? Especially when you're doing it in water like this. Do not bury it too deep. And then all you do is keep the water topped up. You can see where my water level is, just to below the base plate. The base plate is this thing here, like an onion. This is the base plate. Okay, do you see there? That's the base plate. All right, just like the onion. So there's the neck, remember. There's the shoulder, all right, and there's the main part of the bulb. And guys, so just keep it topped up to just below that, and you're going to be fine. And that's all you're going to do. And in 5 to 6 weeks' time, you're going to be the best gardener on the block, because your Amaryllis or Amarylli one is going to be flowering. Spectacular. And it really makes us confident gardeners when you plant something like this that is really so rewarding and completely at ease to do. Okay, so get on and do that. All right, something else I want to share with you this morning, folks, because, you know, we all became subsistence farmers over lockdown. Oh, yes, we were all going to grow our own and feed our family, and we were going to survive off the land. What happened was, we all went into Builders and we bought a whole lot of packets of seeds. Yes, we did. And I hope that you sowed them. And guys, this morning I was wandering around the veggie garden because we've had some beautiful spinach, which is actually called Swiss chard. Look at it here. This is called Bright Lights. Isn't that lovely? Look at the red and the yellow and almost lime green stems. Beautiful young Swiss chard. And here's some sorrel. Now, sorrel is a herb. You can pick the leaves. I stir fry the leaves as well, and you can use it in salads. It's a wonderful herb just to even have in the veggie, in your flower beds. Yes, have it in your flower beds, and it can cope with quite a bit of shade. So if you're getting an area that maybe only gets like 2 hours sun, 3 hours sun, you can plant some sorrel. But we've been picking Swiss chard almost every second day. So guys, remember to just keep on picking. The more you pick, the more it gives you. And I love this bright lights. I just think it's so cute. So cute. The other thing that I spotted this morning was lovely mint. Now, your mint probably went to sleep during winter, but spring is here. Oh, my word, this is spearmint. Crackerjack, it's beautiful. Man, it's like, lovely. So mint is coming up. If your mint is looking sticky still, dead sticks, all right, dead sticks, yes, okay, yeah, you're with me. If it's looking like that, then folks, please do the following. Get your sharp pair of secateurs, give it a pruning, and I'm going to prune this to show you. Prune it right down to where it joins the soil. Right down to where it joins the soil. Prune it back. Give it a handful of some organic bio-ocean or some 232, whatever you've got there, as long as it's an organic, a handful of that on top, right on top, because it's not going to burn. A little bit of compost, a handful of compost, spread it over so that the stalks are just there, okay? So you're spreading it over, you're just covering the stalks, all right? And a good watering, and within 2 weeks, my friends, you will be picking beautiful mint like this for your gin and tonics. Yes, gin and tonics for your fruit salads and whatever else you want to put them in. We've got a question from Ingrid. Worms and clivias. Whoa! Okay, right. Clivias are looking gorgeous. Hold on, I'm just going to have a sip of my mint-infused water. Oh, it's delicious. Right, okay. Right. Questions are coming through thick and fast, guys. All right, but I want to finish this quickly before I get to the question. And the other thing that we picked this morning. Look. Beautiful heads of broccoli. We haven't had good broccoli for quite a few seasons, and the reason why is because it wasn't cold enough, and we had a really nice cold winter, which means that this beautiful broccoli is coming through fresh, delicious, sweet, full of the good antioxidants that the doctors tell us we need. So grow your own, guys. It's simple. This and this I will be keeping for my stir-fry dinner tonight. Yummy. Okay, let's get to the worms. Ingrid, you got a problem with worms and the clivias. Okay, that is a serious issue because clivias are looking beautiful at the moment. They are in full flower, guys. And why do the worms arrive? Because of the change of season. The butterfly comes down, it's a moth, comes down, hangs out on the clivia. Why? Because clivia is the specific plant. It is host specific to that moth. Okay, it's not just because it's your clivia. No, it's just because it's host specific. So comes down, lays its eggs. Soon as we have a change in temperature, a change in season, those little eggs hatch. Oh my word. And then what happens is those awful little things start eating. They eat the flesh in between the leaf. Sometimes when you look at them, you can actually see, it's so gross, see the caterpillar in the leaf of your clivia busy eating. You know what I do then? I squash it. It's great satisfaction. You just go, okay, squash it. Some of you are not going to want to do that, so I'm going to give you some alternate remedies. Okay, and this is how you do it. Guys, this over here is called Lava Pro. You've seen it before. I've told you about it. It's very important that you use it because why? Lava Pro, folks, comes in a little sachet like this. You get 3 little sachets in one box, okay? It's so safe, you can eat it. Okay, yeah. Why? Because this is what we call, it's a biological product. It's a biological product, and what it means is you're going to dilute it, one of these sachets, into 1 liter of water, and you're going to spray your Clivia, all right, especially where you see the worms. What happens is then the worm carries on eating, okay? It eats where you've sprayed this. What happens is, as soon as they eat it, in this larvicide, there is basically a little crystal that this caterpillar, and only this caterpillar, eats, all right? And basically what it does is it upsets its stomach, like it gets really a bad tummy, like a really bad tummy, okay? And it stops eating. It stops eating, and it dies anorexic. I've tried to eat, I've eaten lots. I've eaten lots. I'm still not anorexic. So it works. It works, guys. All you got to do is spray down the larva, spray down your Larva Pro. And the good thing is that it's completely harmless. It doesn't harm butterflies. It doesn't harm kids, fur kids, children, adults, dogs, ladybirds, or dragonflies. It does not harm. There is no secondary effect, which is what I really like. What else does it mean to me? It means on my agapanthus, same thing, that caterpillar. What about your cycads when you get that same worm? Exactly the same thing. There are other remedies that you can use, and if you are looking to use something else, then I would suggest that you get either one of the following products. It's called Complete or Plant Protector, and what you do is you dilute that into water and you pour that around the plant. It's a systemic insecticide that gets taken up into the plant, all right, and as the caterpillar starts munching, it dies. Okay, but then if something eats that caterpillar, you know what I'm saying? All right, okay, any other questions? Let's have a look. Debbie's got mole crickets. Ha ha! Yes, they are little pestilence, and they are ugly things. Hey? I'm scared of them. I really am scared of them. Those things over there. Okay, so you can go along to your local builders and you can get a product called 511 with carbasol. So it's actually got an insecticide mixed with a fertilizer. You can put that down and that will kill the mole crickets. There are also very specific chemicals. Can you see if we've got something in the cupboard there? There are specific chemicals that will work specifically for mole crickets. But guys, the things that I mentioned to you earlier, the Complete and the Plant Protector will work. It will do the job. Plus, oh, here it is there. Yeah, I've actually got Plant Protector. No, it's okay. It's fine. Here's Plant Protector. It actually does the mole cricket specifically, so you can put that down. All right. Okay, I hope that helps you. Okie dokie, where were we? Oh, let's see who else is saying hello. Lawrence Langer, good morning. Seamus from Jeffreys Bay. Adele, any advice for planting corn? Okay. You obviously don't have monkeys if you're going to be brave enough to plant corn, but corn is a really easy crop to grow. So good on you. What I want to tell you is that, remember, you're going to plant them about 1 foot apart, okay? And what you do is you create little mounds, okay? So it's a little mound like that, and you're going to put 2 seeds in. And you don't bury the seed too deep. So you've created this mound of soil, which means you've turned it. And what I want you to do is I want you to add some 232 or some BioOcean, a handful, into that soil that you're preparing. So basically you've prepared the soil and you've added nutrition into it, so it's ready to go. Right, so there it is. It's about that big, probably not even, less than 30 centimeters, about 20 centimeters, as high. It's nice soft soil. You pop 2 corn seeds in that are about 15 centimeters apart. Pop them in, make sure you bury them about 2 to 3 centimeters, okay? Important that you do that. And then pat it down. You must pat down the seeds. Why must you pat down seeds? Because when you pat them down, there's a little communication that happens, that only happens in nature, that says, I have now touched soil. It's like The eagle has landed. I've touched soil. I've got nutrition. And guys, I can now start growing. Okay, nice and easy, really nice and simple. Give it a good, whilst it is germinating, make sure you water it every second day. And certainly while it is growing in those early stages, it's important that you get it growing really quickly, because any seeds, and especially corn, especially corn, from the time it germinates to the time it produces its first 4 leaves, the quicker it can get there, the quicker it can get from seed to there, will determine how many cobs you are going to have on your corn. True story. So what do I suggest that you use as it starts germinating? Please put some of this on Start Grow. You can see how dirty the bottle is because I use it all the time. So as soon as your seeds start germinating, please apply some Start Grow to it. What does it do? Gives it the right things to get it going, okay? Specifically root development and cell division to get those plants germinating quickly as possible. Okay, we've got a question from Tilly. Why is my cabbage bolting? Okay, Tilly, your cabbage can be bolting for various reasons. Number one, it didn't get enough water. If it didn't get enough water, it goes through a period of stress. What happens is the plant's internal DNA says, I'm under stress. I'm not going to be able to actually grow any further. So my next job is to make seed. Yes, because if we leave a cabbage, if we leave a lettuce, if we leave a carrot long enough in the ground, it turns into seed. It flowers and then creates seed. So, sure, that's the reason why it's bolted. It's a bit late now to do anything about it, but what I would suggest that you do is take that cabbage, harvest it, cut it very, very fine, and use it in a little stir fry. It still is a cabbage. You can still even make a cabbage salad out of it. It's still doing the right thing. It's just that it's got beyond that stage now, and it's going to start producing seeds or flowering very, very soon. Okay. Teresa, perennials for a small garden. Whoa, you are right on the money. Teresa, I've got some beautiful plants here that I'm going to share with you. Number one is this, perennial for a small garden. And I'm so glad you asked this question, because for me, we should be investing in perennials, guys. If we invest in them, we just get so much more out of our garden, because this little penstemon is going to get that wide, all right, is going to make some babies, which we can cut off and we can plant into the garden. Here's its first flower that it's setting up for spring. And what's important with penstemon, because look here, all of these are flowering stems. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, when this is finished flowering, it's so important that you follow it down about halfway, right to where there's a leaf and the leaf axil, and just remove that. Okay, the more you do that, the same with your pansies, with your poppies that are still flowering, with your marigolds, guys, okay? And I'm using it in a punnet just to show you here. Remember, when this flower is starting to go over, please follow it down to where it joins the plant and remove that. The more you do that, the more flowers you are going to have, the more the plant is going to be giving. Okay, what else can you use? Beautiful osteospermums. Guys, I love these. Look at, aren't they happy? Aren't they just so happy? They happiness. You can't not smile. And when you look inside them, like this yellow one, there's actually a bit of purple in there. If you look deep inside there, there's a bit of purple. They come in all different colors. There's a lovely pink as well. They're indigenous. They only get to about 30 centimeters in height, not even about that wide, and it's a true perennial. Remember, when we're talking about a true perennial, what do we got to do? We got to make sure when it's finished flowering that we nip that off, all right? To continue the flowering, really important. Plant them in a hot, sunny position. So they love growing on banks. They love growing in window boxes, because normally those are hot and dry against a wall, okay? As a border plant, they're fantastic. Remember, these guys are what we call the 8-to-4 plants. So they open up in the mornings, and when the sun goes down, so they close. They're really a good giving plant. And when you've got them in the garden, they will go on for 3, 4, 5 years as a perennial, flowering for you late winter, early spring, and into the end of spring. I want to share with you 1 or 2 more of some beautiful perennials that you can plant. And guys, this plant over here, it's as common as mud, but let me tell you, we planted a whole lot in the garden last year. We bought them just like this. Little plants. It used to be known as Statice parisii, Statice, or the paper flower. It's now known as limonium. But this morning, just this morning, I went up into the garden and I picked these from the ones we planted last year. Look at that. And listen. Can you hear that? That's because they're paper-like. Statice, and I got to tell you the story. When we were growing up, my mad uncle, and I did have a mad uncle, true story. My mad uncle used to look after the cemetery, the graves of the family. And we had to go there once a week to go and put flowers on the grave. And as a youngster, you're like, oh, wow, really, do I want to go there? But Statice will forever, forever, forever in my life and to my dying day remind me of my Uncle King, because they were, back in the day, one of the few cut flowers that we could actually get for a reasonable amount of money. The great thing is that when you pick Statice like this, whether you put it in water or whether you just stick it in a jar with no water in it, it's going to keep its color. It's going to look like this for another year, another 2 years. Ha! Yes, that's what it's going to do. So it's going to keep this look, whether it's dried, and when it's dry, because it retains this. And as a valuable plant for the garden, I can't tell you. People walk past these plants, but buy it, guys, because you're going to get that. Brilliant. I love it. I just love them. So I'm putting you back here, and you'll see it in a month's time when I do my next Builders Live with you guys. Okay. One more plant. One more perennial. One more perennial. I'm getting questions thrown at me here, but I'm excited about this perennial, so I've got to tell you. This little guy is called scaviola. Scaviola purple fanfare. Makes sense, because look at it. The little flowers come out in little fans like that, little sprays. And with the little yellow eye right in the center, a great little perennial. Good ground cover, right on the edge, because it's flat and low. Imagine if we took that plant and behind it we had a few little marigolds. Isn't it cute? Remember, when you're working with colors in the garden, think bold, think complementary colors, think of those colors that make others work, because then it pops. What about this? I just can't stop myself. Look, isn't that lovely? Isn't it too gorgeous? It's just so happy, no matter how depressed you are. And you just look at these flowers and you'll be happy, happy, happy. Okay, question time. I'm moving on. Ricky says, how to care for potted jasmine. So Ricky, I want to know what potted jasmine you have, but I'm going to go through a few of the scenarios that I'm thinking you could have. So Ricky, if it was the jasmine that flowered in spring, you know, the one with lots of little tubular flowers, the very heavily scented one. If it was that, then it's going to have finished flowering and you're going to need to prune it a little bit. So and this even goes for the other jasmine. Whatever it is, if it's finished flowering, prune away the dead flower stalks that are left there. Prune them away down to the nearest or the first set of leaves. Okay? Then what I want you to do, if it's in a pot this big or anything smaller. Okay, look at the size of this pot. Can you see in relation to me? Okay, this is what we call a 15 centimeter pot. If it is anything this size or smaller, please, it needs to get transplanted. You need to take that jasmine and you need to put it into a pot that is going to do it justice. When I talk about that, I'm looking, let's use this bucket. Do you see this? Nice and big. At least 30 centimeters in height, at least 30 centimeters in width. Use some good potting soil. When you mix your potting soil, please add a bit of this beautiful palm peat. Remember, you guys all know this stuff, because when you take this block and you add it into this and you add water to it, it forms this beautiful organic, water-absorbing palm peat. Mix a few handfuls of that into your potting soil, pop it into the pot, and that's where you're going to replant your jasmine. It's important that you transplant it from whatever that little container was, because it's not meant to live in that. And that's another interesting thing, and I'm actually gonna stay on this for a little while, guys. Oh, and the other thing is, Ricky, once you've planted it, please give it a good handful of some Bio-Ocean, all right? A handful of organic Bio-Ocean. Remember, what is Bio-Ocean? Right, it's chicken litter together with seaweed, mixed together in a pelletized form that looks like rabbit food, but it ain't. Sprinkle that around your plants. You can use it on anything, and that's going to just give them a good vuma. And you do that every 4 to 6 weeks. Plus, what you can do is use some multi-grow. Multi-grow is great as an all-round good conditioner. It improves flowering and it improves leaf growth. If you don't have any of this and you've got something like Nutrisol, it's fine. Use it. Sea grow. Shake it up really well, because all the goodness gets stuck at the bottom. And it's called sea grow, which means it smells like the sea. Okay. Alrighty. I wanted to touch on something else. There was something about containers that I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember now. So Janet wants to know, how do I get rid of onion weed? Ooh, Janet, now that is a pest. There's some things that I don't understand why the big man upstairs made them, because I'm still trying to work out why. Why was an onion weed put here for humans? And I don't really get it, but anyway, this is how you get rid of it. There are 3 or 4 ways, 3 ways, I think. Okay, hang with me. First of all, never let it flower. As soon as you're walking around the garden, and you know, that's when we generally see it, when we're taking a little stroll, and all of a sudden, woo, there it is. Okay, what I want you to do is just snap it off. Just break off that flower. Never let it flower. As soon as it flowers, after that, under the ground, which you can't see, it forms mini bulblets. Ha! If you've ever tried to dig onion weed out, you will know that it is an exercise of futility. Is that a word? Yes, we'll make it up. It is, like tufferer, okay? It's a complete futile exercise, because as you put your fork in there and you try and dig it out, you will always leave some bulblets behind. And in fact, when you do that, you agitate the bulbs get under stress, they say, need to make more, and so they make more. So you actually just like making the whole process go on and on and on. So rip off the flowers, okay, first job. Next thing. The next thing I want you to do is you actually go and you grab it where it joins the soil, where it goes into the soil, and cut it off. Cut it off. So you're going to end up with a bunch of leaves. Beg your pardon. If you do that often enough, as it starts shooting, cut it off. Remember, we're not tugging, because if you tug, okay, you're going to irritate the bulbs. So you're cutting it off. Cut it off. What happens is you're stopping the bulbs from photosynthesizing the green leaves. You're removing the green leaves. Eventually, that bulblets will get thinner and lose condition and eventually die. Okay, that's one way of getting rid of them. The other way is you can get a product called Roundup. Yes, I know, don't all jump up and down. Don't, relax, calm yourself. Because remember, if you use Roundup every day for 30 years and you don't wear protective equipment, something is going to go wrong with you. If you drink beer every day by the case, after 20 years, something is going to go wrong with you. Everything in moderation, folks. And if you take a bit of Roundup, it comes in a gel form. You wear the gloves, you follow the instructions, and all you do is you take the gel, you click it. It's a click, so you don't even touch it. You click it and you touch the leaf. It's click and touch. Click it, touch. It actually looks like underarm, but it's not underarm, okay? So you click it and touch. The gel goes onto the leaf of the onion weed and it dies. Okay, so there are your options. Hope that's helped. Right, Marjorie, my basil and thyme is Marjorie, my basil and thyme have passed on. I hope those aren't names of cousins or relatives. What did I do wrong? Okay, Marjorie, there are a couple of things that could have been that could have gone wrong here. Number one, your basil could have been an annual basil. So it could have been, was it that basil that like makes the big leaves that you use for pesto? If it was that, it's meant to die. It's called an annual. So it grows from a seed, it gets leaves, it flowers, and after it's flowered, it dies. Which is why if you're growing sweet basil, and sweet basil is that basil, the pesto basil, that one with the big broad leaves, always nip off the flowers. Never let it flower. So we trick it. We continuously trick the plant and we alter its state of mind. Oh, I'm making flowers. No, you're not. You are making flowers. No, you're not. You need to make leaves because that's the part that we want. Remember, basil and thyme are Mediterranean herbs. That's where they originate from. What happens in the Mediterranean? Boats, blue sea, sunshine, cocktails, and not a lot of water. I knew you were thinking of something else. And not a lot of water. So please do not overwater them. It's really important that you don't overwater your herbs. However, if you have bought them in a little pot, and I'm going to use this beautiful fuchsia, and some of you call them fuchsias, as an example. If you have bought your herb in a little pot like this and you left it in this little pot, it is going to die. 99.9%. Because remember, this is simply the method of transportation to get it to our homes. It's not meant to live in here, guys. All right, you've got to take this, you've got to transplant it on, just like I told Ricky with his jasmine. It cannot live in here. It's been grown up from a baby in here. It's now got to its point because look, if we do this, there we go. Lots of roots. If you cannot keep up the optimum growing conditions for this plant in this pot, which is highly unlikely as us gardeners because we're busy, we work, we're not here looking at it 24/7. So if your herbs were left in those little pots, then that's also the reason. So get them out. Get them out, get them into the garden, get them into a bigger container with some potting soil and a bit of this stuff here, the palm peat. Okay, right, and you'll be good to go. And don't overwater. All right. Antoinette, snails. Oh, you know that the rain has come when the snails arrive. Escargot. All right, you know, oh gosh. And Antoinette, I understand, I feel your pain because I was walking in the garden the other evening. It had been drizzling during the day, and what did I find but Cedric the snail walking along the paving. Well, not really walking, you know what I mean. So there are quite a few options, guys, quite a few options. And I want to share with you some of the less, the friendlier options. This over here is a brilliant invention. Okay, it's called a snail trap. I love it. Why? Because you get two in your little container, and this is how you put them together. You put them like that, and you put them like that. Okay, and what do? You go to the bottle stores, which are now open from Monday to Friday. Okay, do I look excited about that? Of course I do. And you go and buy 6 packs of beers, six beers, your brand of choice. You drink 5, and the last one that's left, you open this up and you add some beer inside here. Just about 3/4 of the way, you then bury this into the garden where your big, leafy, delicious plants are, where you know your snails are hiding. Because remember, you don't see snails during the day. They hide. They're hiding under the leaves of your bromeliads, under the leaves of your agapanthus, under pots, in the crevices. You don't see them because they only eat at night. So you bury this up to there, all right, in the soil, put the lid on, all right, and you finish the other beer, that last bit, all right. Then what happens is, at night, the snails come out. They smell the yeast. They're attracted to the smell of the yeast of the beer. They get to the edge, they fall in, and they drown incredibly happy. Very, very happy. Once a week, you then go in, open this up, you'll see all the snails lying in here frothing about. What do you do with it? You take it and you throw it on your compost heap. Because those snails have been eating all of your beautiful plants that you have been spending good money on fertilizing. Imagine the nutrition that is in those snails. All right, so you don't just throw them away, you put them on the compost heap. Another alternative is this over here. Guys, I want to show this to you very, very, very quickly. This is a type of fiber that you put down, and it works in a similar principle to eggshells. You know, if you're taking eggshells, you bake them in the oven a little bit and then crush them really fine and sprinkle that around plants. All right, you've got to put it around the plants, and it's got to be crushed quite small. If it's not crushed fine and it hasn't been dried, it's not going to work. The snails will just sail over it. Right, so this is a type of wool, all right, that when you add water to it, it expands. And what happens is it expands quite a bit. And the snails, you put it around the plants. So the snails get to it, and the wool is quite hard, and it irritates them. It irritates their mucus tummies. So they get halfway over it, they're like, Larry, let's go home. This is not that comfortable. And they turn around and they leave, and they go to your neighbor and eat their vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so those are some options that you can use. Ellen's got mole problems. Geez, you're really giving me some hard ones today, guys. Ellen's got mole problems. I've got a solution. There are two solutions. Number one, you go and buy yourself a Jack Russell and you give it free mining rights in your backyard, and you are sure to catch a mole. The other one is that you can go to your local builders and pick up one of these guys. It's called a mole repeller. Now, some of you are going to say, I've tried that, Tanya, and it doesn't work. Well, maybe that's because you weren't using it properly. Remember, the mole probe works on a sonic, okay? It works on batteries. You pop the batteries in here. This little guy goes in here, all right? You pop the lid on here, and you bury it. You bury the whole thing up to here, not just up to there. You got to bury the whole thing into the garden. Now, it's quite difficult if it's in your lawn, so you've actually got to take a bigger stick or something, knock it in, move it around, so you've got a hole to put this into. What happens is this emits a high-frequency sound. You can actually hear it, that irritates the moles. In the beginning, the moles are going to come and dance around this thing because they're inquisitive. They're trying to find out, where's this noise coming from? When they realize the noise is not going to go away, they go away. Okay? Mole sonic. That will help you. I certainly hope it does. Be persistent, be consistent. Because without consistency, there is no reward. All right. Marissa wants to know what plants for hanging baskets in the full sun. Sure, you must have been on my mind because I have the plant for you. Now, you don't very often find this plant in a hanging basket. You don't. But let me tell you, buy a plant like this. It's called Euphorbia Kilimanjaro. It's part of the poinsettia family. Or some of them are called Euphorbia Diamond Frost. But I have seen this plant as in a hanging basket. Man, and I was blown away. Absolutely blown away. Because a euphorbia loves the sun. Tick. It always has flowers on it every day of the year. Tick. It's tough. It doesn't need much water. Better tick. All right? And it's small and compact. It'll get beautiful and mounded, and it will look just breathless. A fantastic option. Another option will be this little scaviola that I spoke about earlier. Beautiful in hanging baskets. Really spectacular. Remember, with hanging baskets, please, 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 add a bit of this, of the palm peat. Use about 1/3 palm peat and then 2/3 potting soil. Mix that in. Plus. I nearly forgot. Plus. Please listen carefully, because this is going to make your hanging basket a success. So you get the stuff. It's called Hydrocache. Okay, please, guys, listen up, because this is important. We've been working with this product for about a year, and it's only recently been launched onto the market. But let me tell you, it is rock star status. And I am going to take, so what you do is when you're planting it, when you're creating a mixture, okay, so you're making your potting soil mixture, you take a teaspoon and you sprinkle it dry like this, and you mix it in. If you are planting shrubs in the garden, okay, take a bucket and add 2 scoops of this to it. Notice I've added in, and those weren't even proper teaspoons. Those were like little tidbits of a teaspoon. And you add water, and what happens is these little granules start swelling and absorbing the water. We had a day the other day, it was 37 here at home, 37, and I wanted to plant some petunias. In fact, I planted one of these in the garden. Beautiful petunia, lovely for hanging baskets, by the way. This is called Cascadia pitaya, and look at its little, look at its fleck of lime green. I planted exactly one of these, but I knew what was going to happen if I planted it in that heat, but I had to plant it. I didn't have any other time. So remember what I did? I added in 2 little teaspoons of this into this water, so it forms this beautiful gel. It's sucking up all the water. Now, I could take those 2 teaspoons, put into a bucket, add more water, and it would just swell and swell and swell and swell. So when you're planting, you take some of this, like that. You add that into the bottom of the hole, but cut a lot, okay? Because you know it goes a long way. So 2 teaspoons will make a whole bucket turn into this gel, bucket of water. Slobber it in the bottom, okay, of the planting hole, and then pop the plant onto that. Onto it, and then fill it up with soil. I guarantee you, your plant will hardly use any water. It will not even wilt, because my little petunia that I planted on that day when it was 37 degrees, I defied every gardening rule that I should, and it never ever wilted. That's the beauty of smart gardening. Now look at it. It sucked up so much of the water that, look, you can turn it upside down and it doesn't even fall out. Party trick, party trick. Okay, guys, so please go and get it. Mix it into your hanging baskets. Mix it into your containers. It's called Hydrocash. It really, really, really is important. Guys, I think my time is up. I thank you very, very much for being with us. Remember that we will answer all your questions that I haven't got to. I see there are a lot of other questions coming through here, but we will get to them. The crushed up eggshells, they hurt their bodies. Yes, they do hurt their bodies. And then they go to the next door neighbor. Brilliant. Guys, remember to visit the blog on the website. That's www.builders.co.za. Also have a look at the YouTube channel, Builders SA. And guys, you're going to find loads more gardening tips and DIY advice. Thank you all for giving up your time to spend with me this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've loved every moment of it. Take care of you and yours, and most importantly, happy gardening. God bless you all.